You got this.
All right, when you are ready, please introduce yourself, introduce all the commentators, give me a countdown for the timer, and we'll get started. The winner of the fallen human name, the fallen human, was Beppis.
Man.
Oh,
Right.
boy.
Okay, so I'm good to introduce now?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone. My name's Freaks. I'm an Undertale speedrunner. For Genocide, I am 7th place, and I'm joined by my two commentators, Dirty and Flam. Dirty, you can go on and then Flam.
Hello, I'm Dirty. I have been running Undertale for coming up on 5 years now. I've been running the Genocide ending for 5 years. I'm currently 5th place on the Genocide leaderboards, and I'm pretty good at the game.
Hello, I am FOMC or FMC. I've been running this game for a little bit over a year. I don't run Genocide, but I am top 50 in neutral, and I am 6th place on the 100% for this game.
Okay, is that everything?
Yeah.
Okay, right, got it. Okay, let's get started. So like Genocide is like a run where it compared to neutral.
Time started.
Oh yeah, time started. Yeah, my bad. I got carried away. Yeah, no. Genocide is a category that relies heavily on, like actual game skills, so skill of weapons and also a bit of RNG compared to Undertale's other categories, which is mainly glitch reliant. There's still a lot of glitches in Genocide, like some which do make the category a lot faster, but they're a lot less common than they are in categories like neutral or true pacifist. But despite all that, Genocide is the most ranked category in this game, and I'm guessing that's mainly because Funny Sans boss fight and etc.
There's also very much the element of Genocide in Undertale is probably the second easiest category to get into as a beginner, as there's a small amount of glitches and a lot of them are easy to learn, as well as learning to use the weapons, only followed by neutral glitchless, which basically takes those elements out of it.
Yeah.
Flam, do you want to explain TAS?
Yes, Freaks is heading up to a trick called TAS. It is probably the worst trick in the game. It is a ROM warp that skips this entire room. It saves about 30 seconds, if I believe correctly, and you got it first try. That's incredible.
So actually, technically only saves 20 seconds in Geno.
Oh, okay.
Because you skip an encounter that would normally take you to level 2. And so any attack we do now will... Basically, the attack animation to kill enemies will take slightly longer due to dealing less damage.
Yeah, I would reckon that is the most reset heavy trick in the entire game. I've lost most runs to it.
So how that trick works is, anytime you close a text box in a room transition, you are able to regain your movement. And when you regain your movement, the game... It changes a few flags in the game and ends up putting you at the default spawn point. Now with TAS, that actually puts you right at the end of the room, so you don't actually need to worry about doing that entire hallway where Toriel walks you through the spikes and kind of just wastes a lot of our time. Yeah. If you miss it, if you mash too slowly, you do softlock, so it is a very high risk strategy, but because it is right at the beginning of the run, we go for it.
Yeah, luckily it's a minute 15 or so into it, so it's not that bad to go for. Anyways, for this first section, the first 13 kills or so, it's a 50-50 if he gets a Whimsun or a Frogget, and the Whimsuns are always faster, so you can instantaneously kill them.
If you get a Frogget, however, you want to get what is called a Frog Skip. So when you get the Frog attack, you are able to basically bulldoze right into the Frog in order to cut the attack off early. We saw that with the second encounter. Another downside of TAS is that because we are at Love 1 here, for the first up to 5 encounters, when you fight Frogget, there is a chance that you won't two-shot it, because damage rolls in this game with the stick are RNG, and so you need to roll high enough damage. It doesn't matter how precise you are, sometimes you just can lose a turn, which loses about 5 to 6 seconds each time. But now that we're at Love 2, not really a concern. Essentially, we're just going back and forth here, resetting the room, resets the step count, and then we want to get as many Winsons as possible because it's just time save. Ruins is by far the RNG heaviest part of the run. It relies on getting very, very good RNG, and because I believe the odds of a perfect Ruins is somewhere in the millions.
Yeah, well, that's true for every area except Waterfall. So we'll get to Waterfall later.
The time swing in Ruins is actually minutes with RNG if you get unlucky enough. So now, as you can see, we're starting to move over to the right. This is 13 kill, right?
No.
Yeah, I was about to.
Oh, this is 11 kill. So there are two paths you can take here, which is grind either 11 or 13 kills in the first half. And the main difference is 13 kills is a lot more consistent time-wise. However, 11 kill has a slightly faster potential. So here we're kind of out of the first half around 4:30ish, which is kind of... It's alright.
So now we're in second half Ruins, correct? Which introduces a third monster we can encounter with the Moldsmal. It's still just Frogget, Moldsmal, and Whimsun, but this time we can get Frogget, Whimsuns, we can get triple Moldsmals, single Moldsmals, or double Moldsmals. The routing here in the yeah, the routing here is a bit too complicated. I don't fully understand it. Gotta run this category, but
so basically, if you do specifically 11 kills, your step count walking into this room is low enough that it is actually faster most of the time to grind the encounter before dealing with the rock. So ideally, we want Frogget Whimsun here, with Frogget being the second fastest. The chances of a Frogget Whimsun are 1 in 4. However, the chances of a single mold, which is the single worst, is also a 1 in 4. So basically, there is an equal chance that you get phenomenal and horrendous RNG. And again, this section is definitely the most reset heavy. This is the one with by far the most RNG time variance within like realistic bounds.
not even core. Okay.
I mean, within like, I'd still say within core, it's still fightable with zero whiffs, but you'd have to get really unlucky in core, I'd say.
Yeah. So about those Frogger Whimsuns, this makes a popular strategy to go down, menu down to the second monster that is in the list, just in case it is a Whimsun. But you'll see he does that for every encounter, even not Frog Whimsuns.
A guy in the chat, GamerFan89092, has just asked, "Is this your first time playing Undertale?"
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Let me just look at my life split. I have 2,300 attempts in Geno, so no, this is not my first time playing the game.
Are you sure about it?
I recently hit 800 attempts on my neutral blitz.
I have like 2,000, 3,000 maybe.
Yeah. Dude, you might catch up for just neutral? Seriously?
Yeah. I
bro,
are in that category.
You might catch Sam for the most neutral attempts. They gotta be. I know they're first. That's like,
so here
like 6,000.
We are.
Oh, that's so comedic.
So we are coming up on the end of Ruins, and we have a classic, which is a single mold at 18 kills. So basically, there are 20 kills in this area. The higher your step count, the longer it takes to get an encounter. A single multiple at 18 is the single worst outcome possible, because now we have to grind at this really high step count and get an extra encounter rather than getting... Basically, you get screwed over here despite the fact that you have a 75% chance of getting a playable encounter. You see this all the time. Now, one thing I did want to bring up is the fact that the reason we kill Whimsun first in the Frogget Whimsun encounter is because it gives us the chance for a frog skip, which I described earlier, which you can only get if it is a Frogget on its own. Technically, it only saves time with good RNG. Anyway, we are moving on now with 20 kills. Napstablook isn't here, and you'll get to see the ominous "but nobody came."
But nobody came.
Fun fact here,
last
you
part
don't...
of Ruins last.
So fun fact here, with the but nobody came, you can actually buffer Z or enter before the text is complete, so it auto completes on the first. So you basically skip the text on the first frame, which I didn't know until I've been running the game for at least 3 years. I'm pretty sure. So I definitely killed my wrist more than I had to. One thing we haven't had a chance to talk about yet is how we skip text in this game. So basically, the buttons Z and enter, they both clear the text box once it's completed. Shift and X complete the text box. And the way Undertale players mash, you'd think you'd want to randomly mash, but actually the game cannot register 2 different types of inputs on the same frame. So you actually want to press all of the buttons in sequence. So for example, Z, X, enter, shift. And you want to do that in sequence as fast as you can. That is what is called piano mashing.
A hype train has just started on the InstaSpeedathon Twitch channel.
Dang.
So
Hey.
sub, gift, or cheer to level up. Go on, get the hype train going. We're at 31% at the moment. We've got 5 minutes to level us up to level 2, I guess. I've never had this happen before, so this is the very first
Let's
time
keep
ever.
it going.
I
Let's
can't
keep
see.
it going.
I can't see the
Going.
chat. My
Woo!
phone's dead.
Oh no!
I
Okay,
got
can
chat
see
pulled up.
it.
I got chat pulled up. Don't worry.
Yeah, keep the hype train going. So
Yay!
it's 3 subscribers, I think. So 3 subs or 1.1 thousand bits. So 1,100 bits or 3 subs, and don't forget, 50% of our Twitch revenue goes to Tip Top Productions as well. So you're donating to charity through proxy, I guess.
Freaks goes in tutorial and just immediately obliterates her. She's a one-shot, like most other bosses, except for the only 2 bosses that we actually fight.
It looks like we're gonna have about an 11 OX ruins here, which is it's definitely not as bad as it could have been. But one nice thing about this, and I think it's definitely worth the hype train, is the fact that with that single mold at 18, you're seeing the true Geno grind experience right there.
Yeah.
I have seen that more times than I can count. I once got it 5 times back to back to back to back to back.
This category is definitely a fun one to run.
And we are able
why.
to leave the most RNG portion of the run
I fat
No, it
fingered
is
into the
not in.
menu.
into, and things are going to start picking up speed in terms of actual like execution and skill. As in, when was it? In late April, a new glitch was discovered that Freaks will be attempting to showcase,
Oh boy.
known
Oh.
as SLS. One of,
Oh,
at
man.
this point, one of the single most hated tricks to ever be found in this game.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
But we will wait till we get there before we explain it, as I feel like you just need to see it in order to fully comprehend it.
Oh yeah.
Here we have Freaks, you know, doing a little dance whilst walking. This is using what is known as key storage. If you tab out of the game, it actually stores Frisk's directions, so Freaks can just hold right whilst technically doing the Frisk dance. And technically this means you can grind encounters while standing in place. So this is Gamer Pixel.
Yeah, Gamer
Oh my gosh,
Pixel.
you got it. It's a
A
whole.
strap.
What is it? What is it in general? Like 1 frame?
5 frames, I'm pretty sure. in
5
general.
frames? Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Dude, I
So
heard
by
somewhere it
standing-
loses time.
So by moving up 1 single pixel in this room and then timing an upright press, sand spawns in 1 pixel higher, allowing us to save time. Oh, I've been corrected.
It's
It is 4
4
frames.
frames.
We have a
And
tasker in the chat.
I'll trust Doggo with that any day of the week. This is more of that piano mashing that Dirty talked about earlier.
So here is where we actually see the first major revolution. So Freaks takes a save there, grabs a tough glove.
Oh wait, okay. Wait,
And-
I need to do the SLS. I'll do it anyway.
So we are coming up on what is known as Brewski. So this is the safe variant of Brewski. Basically, you can skip this encounter because of the glitch coming up. Freaks is not menu
Oh.
down to sell, but that's okay. Yeah, you want menu down to sell.
Oh
you
my
want
god,
this
wait, I forgot about my
anyway.
music mod. It's fine.
That's fine. So anyway, what Freaks was trying to do is basically using the key storage described prior, we can actually move 1 pixel further to get onto the cutscene trigger. And I believe it's something to do with the fact that it moves us forward for essentially half a frame, because this game does run at 60 frames per second. like in the kind of background. So it allows us basically to move for half a frame without actually triggering the cutscene. And that then allows us, whilst we are on the pixel of the cutscene, to open up the cell, and then closing text box gives us our movement back, as the game is hard-coded when you close text to give you your movement back unless a cutscene overrides it. We avoid the ice here because we want to get an encounter before the end of this room. Freaks went for an RNG strat where you can technically move, whilst in the encounter animation, it's basically just a roll 1 in 30. No real way to do anything about it. Here you see Freaks moving onto the pixel, unfortunately missing the SLS. However, the thing about SLS, and the reason why it is such a difficult trick, is that it requires you to open your menu for the cell and then also activate the cell on the next frame. So basically you have to do what is called an overflow. You only get one chance at this, and if you miss it at all, you just don't get the cutscenes. There are many of these that save quite a lot of time. Now, we're going to grind out an encounter here. And this is just because we already have our step count quite high, so we might as well kind of use the opportunity to get an encounter before it going into the dog marriage fight.
That's fine.
Another kind of underappreciated part of this run is optimal hits, which is what Freaks is trying to do here. And it is actually... You can actually greed these quite a lot, and it really compounds in time save. However, as you've seen, it comes with the risk of inevitably missing. We're not going to be fighting Jerry here because for some reason, good old Toby coded Jerry to be an absolute unit. So we want to avoid fighting Jerry where possible.
He's got a crazy high defense compared to other monsters, but no attack. So he's just there. And it sucks when you have to fight him in the actual grind of Snowden, but...
And contrary to popular belief, sparing does not end the Jenna run on the spot. The only condition that has to be met is that you kill all enemies in a given area. Here we have the dog marriage fight. Technically, the anvil attack is frames faster.
I love the axe attack. The other requirement for keeping Jenna status in at least Snowden is you have to kill all of the dogs, like army. So like dog marriage, doggo, greater doggo, that we'll see later.
Oh, I'm doing the puzzle, dude. It's not neutral.
Yeah, so as you can see, Freaks forgot the category we're in, so decided to go for the puzzle, which is already completed. Here we have another opportunity for an SLS. This one actually saves more in Geno.
Oh, dude, that's fine.
Miss it again, it's okay. I want to reiterate, SLS is a really hard and inconsistent trick.
You have to do overflow inputs, I believe. I don't think it's a proper overflow. It's a
No, so it is overflow inputs. So you do have to press CZ on the same frame and then enter on the next frame, or Control Enter 1, Z on the next.
Yeah, we won't see a proper overflow like we do in neutral because we don't get the punch card in this. There's no RTA.
Yeah. However, we will see overflow inputs when we get to EVP, but that is for another day. Coming up here, we have the Greater Dog fight. This fight is surprisingly RNG. So you want the dog attack. It's the same as the frog attack we saw in Ruins. If you get the dog attack, you can end the attack early, saving 3 seconds each time. We're hoping to go 2 for 2. Fortunately, we missed the first one.
1 for 2, surely.
And we missed the second one. Now, one thing... We have the second to last SLS coming up. This one is one of the bigger ones in Geno especially. So we want to move 1 pixel forward here, and there we
got it.
So now, as you can see, Freaks is doing what is known as text corruption.
I'm being told that the SLS...
So Freaks is going forward for some reason, despite he wants to go all the way to the left. Freaks is, again, forgetting the category. So the reason this is huge in this category especially is because it allows us to go all the way back. And at this room transition. It is faster to grind on the left side because the room transition is actually shorter, so it saves several frames every single room transition, and we want to grind here until we get to either 13 or 14 encounters. Now,
I'm being told that the SLS is partially luck-based because it's overflow inputs.
yeah. It's human RNG. It is 100% doable every single time. However, inputs are really precise, and it even comes down to subframes at times. You will miss it because of subframes. In this area of Snowdon, we want doubles up until 11 encounters, and then we want triples. And that is just because the step count is so low that it's actually faster to just get the ice cap kill over and over again and to spare Jerry. Now, ideally, we're going to get doubles all the way up until 11, and then 2 triples, and kill that final Jerry. And it is only faster to kill the Jerry in that instance because the step count would be so high that basically it just balances out, essentially.
Dude, I fat fingered.
Yeah.
Buddy.
It's okay.
This RNG has been pretty good so far, though.
So Geno as a category, especially in the last, I'd say year probably, has actually finally been pushed to its limits by TetraSpit and Samuel JH. There are many glitches and small optimizations that were not done before because it was not really taken seriously. And like SLS also really changed the game in that sense as well. Because finally Geno became seen as more of like a skill type category with all these things that can be implemented. So you have things like optimal hits, which Freaks I reckon isn't going for because he got punished for it earlier, but that's fine. And it's essentially just Tetris and Sam have built massively on the skill element of Geno and really pushed the category down all the way to 102, which was previously theorized to be impossible, but Tetris brought it to that level before SLS even came out, and SLS, if done optimally and you hit all of them consecutively, can save upwards of 40 seconds. So TetraSpit managed to, without that added time save, push the record down to a point which was previously thought to be impossible. So now you see us going to the right side of the bridge because once it is over, we want to go straight into Snowdon Town.
I just got
there is no more reason.
I just got optimal RNG, by the way.
So Freaks has now gotten borderline perfect RNG. Pretty much the worst part of RNG was the dog skips and also on the bridge when Freaks got a triple. So this is actually phenomenal RNG in Snowdon.
Oh. The crazy thing about that first 102 in Geno was Tetris golded core, sands, and the ending in one run.
Yeah, and you will soon see why that is so insane. Well, I say soon, in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we're killing Jerry here just because the step count would be so high that it is just not worthwhile to grind out another encounter. This kill takes roughly 25 to 30 seconds if you can get quick kill. If not, a little bit longer. So now we're going to one of the single hardest boss fights in the entire game. It being the Papyrus boss fight. Papyrus in Genocide. As Pyrus is friends with everyone, he becomes motivated by everyone dying, and you face off in a very intense standoff. And as you will see, Freaks will have to really dial in here to make sure that he doesn't lose any time here. As there is a very, very specific way you have to do this fight.
You got this, bro.
What is this music mod? I don't remember downloading that.
Or, wait a minute.
Anyway, I was lying, so this is... There are only two really, like, the fights in this game, especially as a speedrunner, are really trivial, with the exception of two, and even then I'd say only really one, that being Sans. But we will get to that later. So now we are leaving Snowdon with a, call it a 23.0x exit, which is pretty reasonable pace, looking at potential 105 here.
It's not bad.
And we're coming up on the final SLS of the run. So here, normally what you do is a skip known as Seagrass Skip. You see Freak's key storing there?
Oh, dude.
Freaks misses it. So that was Freaks missing Seagrass Skip. However, this only loses about 10 seconds, as Freaks can then go in and do Seagrass Skip. So we may not have hit Seagrass Skip, but we got Seagrass Skip, and that, so everything is fine. The petal's already completed for us, and Freaks just throws that petal deep into the abyss. Ooh, we have Freaks going for Aaron Flea. So this is what is known as an RNG strat. Sorry, not what's known as an RNG strat. People know what that is. So this is an RNG strat known as Aaron Flea. Basically, you can choose to kill the Aaron, or you can choose to not kill the Aaron. The Aaron is really slow, as it is unavoidable that you will have to do 2 big hits to kill Aaron. So by fleeing Aaron, we open up the opportunity to get better encounters, but also to grind at a lower step count. Aaron Flea has about... It's basically 50-50 shot of paying off or getting punished. We have Speedrun coming up.
The waterfall RNG is so narrow that it's been like entirely mapped out, correct?
Yes. So Waterfall has so few unscripted encounters. It is as long as you don't get massively screwed over, it's 4 unscripted, I want to say.
Yeah, so
you have the one just after the bell issue, so it is like, I mean, we know the optimal routing realistically with all of them, but like perfect waterfall RNG has happened many times because it is just such a narrow scope.
It's the only area in Geno where runners can almost expect to get perfect or near perfect RNG. With the rest of them, that is a far, far dream.
However, the RNG variance in Waterfall, even if you get bad RNG, is still you can still, most of the time, as long as your pace isn't terrible, absorb that time loss, unless you are really, really pushing at the top level. Like, the variance, you can maybe lose 20 seconds, however, that's pretty much the ceiling of what you can lose to RNG alone, unless we start getting into completely ridiculous levels of RNG. Here we have Gaster, or not. Oh well, worth a shot.
It would have been so funny if we actually got him and it was just like really casual. Yeah. Here is Gaster.
So coming up here, you'll see Freaks is going to go to the left, because we want to get the ballet shoes. The ballet shoes we are primarily getting just so we can one-shot more encounters, and also it saves a significant amount of time on Undying the Undying. These 2 double molds are scripted encounters, so are the Washu and Aaron. All of the encounters, we know exactly what we're going to get. No RNG variance here. And we're coming up on the first unscripted encounter of this area. So, just go.
Oh my
you have no choice, you have to go.
Oh my god, wait, oh. Okay, I thought I had to stick because I did SLS. Wait, I just get the notebook. Wait, this is easy.
So...
I don't know what.
God, where do I begin?
I don't understand.
Okay, so first of all, so this is a single Aaron. This is the single worst case of RNG you can get, just to compound. However, Freeze was supposed to equip the ballet shoes. However, in infinite wisdom, has dropped them.
I don't understand.
That is legitimately one of the only major mistakes possible in this category.
Hey, it's fine. I can get the torn notebook.
Yeah, Freeze is gonna have to improvise here a bit, because otherwise, Undying the Undying, this would lose actual minutes. This loses so much time.
Wait, how much?
You cannot even one-shot Sharon.
How much would the notebook
It loses
lose?
about... I don't know how much
We're just having some technical difficulties at the moment. I do apologize. We do apologize for this. We'll be back on in a moment.
Reason, so I went to drop the stick.
Why would you
That
not
is
drop
like-
the stick at Monster Kid?
That is a.
It doesn't lose time to drop the stick at
Okay.
Monster Kid.
I
Okay,
didn't.
go.
I didn't realize I could do
We're
it.
back on. We're back
Okay,
on.
got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
Anyway, so Freaks is going to have to improvise heavily here because the ballet shoes are really important because they save about, I think it's like 2 to 3 minutes in Undying the Undying due to sheer damage. So Freaks is going to probably be seeing attacks in Undying that Freaks hasn't seen in a long time.
Scary.
Oh, gosh.
So
That is like a prime me clip. Like that's something I would do in my prime.
I mean,
So we do have a bit of a clip culture where that is going to be a clip and it will haunt
Oh,
Freaks
yeah.
for the rest of time.
Yes. Like ever since I joined this community, and probably before that, this community has had a thing where any mistake, any like big mistakes, are like they're made into GIFs, they're made into clips that are just like shared over and over again.
It's
Yeah, Freaks get like a lot of healing items in the shop since. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna get healing items. Like I can no hit on. I've no hit on dying on one before.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So Freaks realistically is going to have to think things on the fly, but going back to what the run would normally be like. So that random, you saw we got that single Aaron. That is the first random encounter, and that is a punish for the Aaron fleet route. So there is kind of an alternative strat that Freaks could have potentially gone for, but it does require reacting very quickly, called double flee or triple flee, and it's essentially just going deep into the realms of the Geno slot machine to try to kind of salvage the bad RNG if you missed the Aaron flee route. Now,
Okay.
as you can see, we've just been through Spears 1, relatively trivial kind of area, and we're coming up on the Mad Dummy fight, which again is one of those really trivial areas.
I'm gonna be needed to like remind it to get the torn notebook.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't even know what choicer it is.
Do we have time for a quick donation read?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. This is
Yeah,
a good time for donations.
because Ken Droy put £20 in. Good luck, Freaks, you got this, and it also goes towards the incentive Nameless Puppet Fight in the Lies of P Run, which is taking place in about 2 hours from now. So that's now got £35 donated towards it out of 50, and it's £15 more to see that. So be sure to get those donations in if you'd like to see that. Exclamation donate in the chat if you're on Twitch. There's a link in the description if you're on YouTube. And there's also the name the character poll on the Undertale True Passive is glitchless, because we've got 2 Undertale runs actually this month, and one that's taking place tomorrow by Eden8. Name the character, and that poll option is Wales. And as it stands, that particular poll has Wales on £20, Slebog on £10, and then there's £0 towards Insta Helga and NGGYU. So if you'd like to put donations
Notebook.
towards any one
Freaks,
of them,
get the notebook, get the
then be
notebook,
sure
get the notebook,
to
notebook.
do so.
So Freaks has now grabbed the notebook as a backup as we dropped the ballet shoes.
Don't drop that, please. Don't drop the notebook.
Right, I'll
So-
shut up for 5 minutes.
So we're not supposed to have the notebook yet. We're supposed to have the ballet shoes. But realistically, we don't really have a choice here.
We did. There was a choice.
I can't even one-shot no mold smalls.
So basically, there is now an unavoidable fact of we are going to be losing quite a bit of time to this because the notebook is not a strong weapon, and neither is the tough love.
Luckily, there isn't really that many fights that we have to do until we get the burnt pan.
So these first 3 encounters are all scripted. So here there is an option you can do called Flex Straps on Aaron. Basically, you can flex on him, and then that allows you to one-shot him, and it saves time because menuing is faster than hits.
Do GPC, then do TRCS to get burnt pan. Okay. Never. Casters scare me. Casters of this game are crazy.
So, after this encounter, it is going to be all unscripted. We are down a kill due to going for Aaron Flea, but that is just a risk that Freaks knew he was taking, and it's one of those things that you can't really control. We have to grind to 16 kills here.
Dude, I lost track.
And then...
I think this is... It's 14, right?
Do you not have like a kill counter?
To 18, sorry. No, this is 13 because Aaron Flea.
Okay. Dude, that pattern is so bad. Okay, 13, got it. No, dude,
So
no,
as you can
'cause I don't
see,
have
Freaks
Voice
isn't exactly practiced with the notebook, so
Nobody does.
that's going to be interesting. Yeah, nobody there is no situation where the notebook is ever actually unironically used.
Hey, I just wanted to show off the notebook.
Like
Has gone and done it.
I just wanted to show off the notebook.
that is some mate activities right there.
So Freaks currently has 5 more kills to go. Well, not 5, sorry, 3 more kills to go, I think.
I was gonna say like that's a.
Go.
Dang.
And
Dude, I actually have to like hit quads to like kill a fucking molten.
That's not. It's not a.
so I guess
quad,
this would be a fine time to introduce how bars in this game work.
Yeah.
So different weapons have different amounts of bars. As you can see, the notebook has 2. The ballet shoes would have 3, and if you hit them dead in the center, if you hit all of them dead in the center, you get a critical hit. This will be important with the burn pattern later. However, for these ones, it still does mean that you deal a little bit more damage. Hitting each one accurately does require a frame perfect, Undertale being a 30 frames per second game.
So the bars are frame perfect for every weapon, not just the Lipper Pan.
Yes,
Got it.
the bars are universally frame perfect to hit them dead in the center.
Got it.
So you'll probably notice that when Freaks hits it, he gets kind of like a gold attack, and that is it. That does count as a critical hit.
Oh wait, I exhausted.
You were
Koto.
done.
Okay.
So because Freaks was not tracking kills, Freaks killed one more encounter than he had to. It would have been
That's
faster
fine.
to flee, but oh well.
It's fine.
It's whatever.
This one's cooked anyway.
And
it's
now
fine.
we're coming up to the point, which is the main reason why we grabbed the ballet shoes. Now, due to having the notebook, Undying the Undying is very much going to be kind of a battle of endurance. Because the attacks, Undying is progressive, so Freaks is going to have to be quite careful managing HP and dodging everything. However, Undying the Undying, as a fight, realistically is not that difficult once you kind of get the hang of it.
We have a lot of strats and things we do to make the fight a little bit easier.
I'm actually very curious on what the turn count is going to be like.
So
So
am I,
here
bro.
there is a strat that Freaks didn't go for, known as a GS. Basically, you can interact with that save point whilst entering the room transition, and then by clearing out the text, you can save roughly a second by wrong warping into this room. This is an example of one of the strats that wasn't really used until very recently, because it is quite difficult. If you mess it up, it's a small time loss, but people just don't really see the point in implementing these things in such an RNG-heavy category. So, as we can see, the Undying fight's already over, so we can all pack our bags and go home.
Oh, I
Undying
always.
is dying. But, surprise, Undying has determination. Now, Freaks is going to want to hit as many pairs, I guess you'd call it,
Sure, we'll go with pairs. I like that. I like it.
as possible in
Oh,
order
that's
to
not
deal the
bad.
maximum damage.
That's not bad.
Okay. So it does look like if Freaks hits good hits, he may only lose like 2 or 3 turns.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay, I can work with that.
Okay.
You are so it does look like so Freaks will be losing a turn here no matter how hard he plays, how well he plays, because the crit damage is normally about
1700.
1700, and you have to hit quite a lot of those. However,
Dude, what is that pattern?
hitting 1100 also is quite costly, but this is just one of those things that if you're doing a no reset of Geno, you have to adapt on the fly to whatever the game throws at you, or more accurately, whatever you throw at the game. So these attacks are all scripted. So the order in which they come out is scripted, and with the exception of the really slow attack, all of the like spears that Undyne throws at you are completely scripted. In the red heart attacks, if you move the same every time, technically, I believe, you will get the exact same attack each time.
It's also the same for the non-Geno Undyne fight as well.
Undyne has 0 RNG variants, realistically. Now, the nice thing about Undyne normally is that with the ballet shoes, it is actually really easy to get the fastest attack. All you have to do is hit a couple of perfect attacks and then mostly gold attacks, which for most runners isn't really that much of an issue. Undyne's throwing the yellow
shoes, that is.
Yeah, with the ballet shoes. Unfortunately, we don't have those. So
I mean, my torn notebook against the world.
Fair enough, fair enough. Luckily, I mean, we don't use the ballet shoes all too much anyways.
The ballet shoes.
Or, I guess,
I definitely
no.
over-exaggerated how much it lost because I thought the torn notebook was worse than it actually is. But that's because I have legitimately, in all my time playing Undertale, not used it one single time.
I am actually curious though, because we use the...
So the fight should be over.
shoes.
So we shouldn't have made it to this attack that just happened because we should have dealt all the damage. And normally you would never see this attack and the attack before it.
Yeah.
I just think it's worth like stating where it would normally end. Yeah.
We use the ballet shoes for Sans and Metaton.
The notebook's faster. The notebook's faster.
Is it? Okay, okay.
Notebook's even
actually,
faster than the ballet shoes, technically.
We'll gain time there then.
Yes. Right, and after this attack, it will be the end of the fight. That lost about 5 turns, I want to say.
What's about, like, I think it was like 4?
Okay,
Like 4 compared
turns,
to...
wait, so that's like 40 to 50 seconds.
4 compared to Quick Kill, it was 3 compared to not Quick Kill.
So now we are entering Hotland. Hotland is definitely the most technically difficult part of the run. Well, with there only being one glitch, it is where the most variance of time can be found in pure skill. So, as you can see, Freaks managed to no-heal Undyne the Undying. As I said before, this fight becomes quite trivial once you are practiced enough at the game. Now,
There we go. And we're out of
we're just going to take a nice little stroll.
Finally, I'm out of purgatory.
Where do y'all split for Waterfall?
Oh,
I split when I walk into Hotland, so out of this room.
Yeah, you're weird, dude.
Okay, interesting. I think
split
if I
after
ran,
Undying.
if I ever ran Geno, I'd split on entering the lab. Since this is
Yeah, no one does that.
Yeah, no, you're weird.
So, here coming up, we have a glitch known as Early Burnt Pan, using the overflow mechanics that we previously talked about.
I think, yeah. Doggo, I see exit MK Bridge a lot, yeah.
Because of a variety of things. So as you can see, Freak's got the overflow, we mash away the text, and because we have movement, we can interact with the fridge. And because of shenanigans that Tassers understand and no one else does, we get the burnt pan. Freak still has the torn notebook.
I think it's best to equip the pan there, right?
Huh? I think so.
I said it's best to equip the pan there probably because torn notebook's probably too weak.
Yes, actually, yes, you're right. So normally we'd want to keep the ballet shoes on right here, purely because it then means that we can kill these enemies faster due to only having 3 bars. So because Freaks did early burnt pan in the lab, Freaks would have had to go down to the right. However, we don't have to do that anymore because we already have it. Basically, when interacting with 2 text boxes at the same time, sometimes it can trigger a different text box. Freaks regained movement with an overflow, which is why he stood next to the dog food, because he activated the text for the dog food at the same time as the cutscene to regain movement. And then essentially it gave him the choicer for the burnt pan, and you picked it. Now we have the Royal Guards. These are really easy to kill. You can borderline mash the attack because they just have so low defense, and in Geno, boss fights are, for the most part, a complete joke.
Doggo in chat, you do text corruption and make Metaton say the instant noodles choicer instead of the normal dialogue, and you have 2 choicers, so you can do choicer overload and get the pan.
Yep.
Shout out the
What they
casters
said.
of this game.
So, EVP is a strat that's actually been around for a long time, as long as I've been running the game, if I remember correctly.
I think it's one of the oldest strats in the game.
I would say it is the... Probably, it used to be the hardest strat in Geno, because you only get one shot at it, and it is an overflow. As we said before, with SLS, overflows are really inconsistent. So here, we're able to skip straight to left floor 3, because, you know, everyone's dead, so there are no puzzles to be done. This area, we already know the path, and there is a skip here known as Door Warp. If you line yourself up correctly, you can actually interact with the text box in the room transition to save a little over a second. It does risk soft locking, however, so it is one of the higher risk strats in the game. Now, we have the final kind of moment of chill before we really get into the weeds of Hotline and Core. Yes, Doggo says Toby tried. So EVP, Toby Fox tried to patch it out in the 1.001 version, but actually inadvertently made it easier.
I heard about that. Toby tried patching out EVP, but not the punch card. I found that pretty funny.
So here, as you can see, we've got this long cutscene. If you were doing neutral glitchless here, this is where you would abort the Genocide route with the Spider Donut, because it just saves a bunch of time in the cutscene. So now we are going into the core, one of the hardest areas in the game, an area where the bell issues would come in handy, but we don't have them. So, as we were talking about earlier with hitting all the bars in the center, with the burn pan you can get what is known as a quad. A quad is where you hit all 4 bars perfectly, it is 4-frame perfect, and there are some enemies that require you to hit it in order to one-shot them, those being Night Knight and Magic. Astigmatism requires at least a gold hit, which requires 3 out of 4 bars. So, and it is fastest to grind on the bridge until we reach 33 kills. Because then we will go up to the Warrior's Path, and on the Warrior's Path there are 3 scripted encounters, and it is actually straight up faster to take the big detour in order to get those encounters really, really quickly and in quick succession. These first encounters all the way up until the... up until the final Frogget and Astigmatism... Sorry, up until the Night Knight Magic are scripted. So as you can see, again, resetting the room to grind out the encounter, because it resets the step count. Technically, in tasks, it is actually faster to just grind without resetting up until, I believe, 20 kills. However, RTA... We don't do that because the luck required to make it faster is actually quite substantial. So coming up, we have the first Night Knight Magic. Freaks has to hit quads in order to one-shot these guys. And it is actually faster to kill the Magic first, because Magic's attack, when on his own, lasts for, I believe, like a few decimals faster. Now we just have one more kill to get. So each whiff, we call those whiffs, each whiff on a quad costs roughly 8 to 10 seconds depending on the encounter and when you get it. So far we have a 2 whiff, and this is the segment that Tetraspit in his former world record got the console, which is ridiculous because from here on out all the encounters are RNG. There are a lot of different possible encounters, the ideal being a triple encounter, so a final frogget, Sir Whimsalot, and Astigmatism, that being, I believe, 12.5% chance of happening. There is also a chance that you get a single encounter, a single Night-Night, or a single Magic. That is by far the worst encounter because you only get one kill and you have to grind up the step count, and also you have to hit a quad, otherwise you are just losing time. Ideally, you want to get as few Night-Nights and Magics as possible. In best case scenario, you get 4 of them, like, and that being 2 of each. There we go. There is the single Night-Night. See, quads are one of the most difficult skills in the game to master, as they are notoriously unreliable to hit for RTA runners. Just due to the precision of it, the nerves of being on pace, all these factors coming in to make it so that this is a very difficult section.
Ricky, what's your quad PB out of 100?
My quad PB out of 100? I don't do it out of 100 really, I only really do it out of 50.
Mine's 38, and that's one of the worst out of like the top-ish runners, like the top 50 or so that are active. 58 is not great, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how precise and how difficult quads can be.
Mine's surprisingly 85, but you would not think that.
Yeah, it's one of the... What's world record out of 100? It's like 98, right?
And
Yes.
yeah, no, because Tetraspit is not human.
What's his... You got streak world record in like that same session, right? It was like a 80
There's
something?
17 left, so I need a move at like, I want to say 10
99.
left?
That was a streak, or that of 100?
10 left, yes.
Okay. So, I got
So
something
one
better.
final RNG factor that could potentially come into play is you want to end on exactly 33 kills here, or depending on how you count them, because some people don't count the first 5, also 28. If you end one short of that, it is faster to go up and just grind out the last encounter on the way back. But however, that is about a 20-second time loss. Break's getting pretty unfortunate RNG here. Just factors that are out of our control, really. Not much we can do about that.
I'm being corrected about the quad streak and quad world record. World record is 99 out of 100 with a 96 streak. That just goes to show how far some players have pushed the limits of this game.
Breaks with to batting all Night-Nights.
Have fun.
So yeah, we want to cross the bridge when we have 2 or 3 kills left on the box road. Sorry, no, we want to cross when we have ideally 6 kills left on the box road, because once we get to the point where we need, sorry, not box road, whatever. Once we have 6 kills left, because ideally once we have 2 or 3 kills left, we go up a few rooms in order to grind closer to the warrior's path. Night-Night Magic. Freaks getting absolutely screwed over by the RNG here, unfortunately. But this is the true Geno experience. You get on the run of your life, insane pace, and the game says you're not surviving today. I'm killing this run.
Yeah, Geno is probably the hardest category to grind for a top time, just because of how much the RNG can vary times.
Yes.
Like
the RNG
mentally,
variance is absurd.
It is crazy.
Another Night-Night Magic. Freaks playing really well here, though.
Jeez.
Getting a Night-Night or Magic, or Night-Night and Magic, is what is called getting skill checked. Basically, it's the game saying, hit these quads. Because if it's a Night-Night Magic, the encounter RNG actually isn't that bad. It just requires you to hit a quad, or 2 quads, I should say. So normally you'd equip the ballet shoes for this encounter, as you can one-shot them with the ballet shoes, and it is faster to attack with the ballet shoes universally, so long as you can one-shot them. Sometimes it's more precise though. For example, with Astigmatism, you do need pretty much a perfect hit. And these 3 encounters are all scripted. However, it allows us to essentially skip the part where we grind for the encounter. And so we are kind of entering the final kind of skill check area of the run in terms of quads. Fortunately, we have a whiff, and I believe that makes this a 6 whiff. 5 or 6 whiffs.
About
That's hard.
Quads are so hard, and they're really difficult to be consistent at as well. It's usually what separates top runners, their ability to consistently hit quads.
Oh yeah. Average GD player though. Just.
Yeah, dude, because Astigmatism really needed the quad, but Night Night Magic didn't. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Let's see what Wumsala has to say. Okay. If I quadded Wumsala, I would have been really angry.
So, do you still have an encounter left?
I don't think so.
Well, we'll find out here.
Nope.
No, you don't. So now it is actually faster to equip the notebook, as it saves time in sands, and a lot of it.
I don't
The
know why I
reason
still have
being,
to check
again,
that.
we have less bars, and it just allows us to kill everything that little bit faster, and especially in sands, it compounds to multiple seconds. It even saves time, technically, on Metadon Neo, as it is impossible to not one-shot Metadon Neo, as they have -5 bajillion squillion defense.
Squillion.
I was exaggerating.
That's pretty much the last RNG / skill-based part of Geno. The rest of it is kind of an auto-scroller.
With the
There is
exception
sometime-
being sands.
Yeah, there is some time to be saved, but it's not anything huge.
So now we
Unless
are
I'm being
entering
mistaken.
New Home and what is called Flowey Tail. Basically, normally you can only mash it up to 15 text boxes per second as the game registers inputs at 30 frames per second. So you press like ZX and Shift in sequence on consecutive frames ideally. However, in Flowey Tail, so when Flowey is telling his story, the game actually registers your inputs at 60 frames per second, so you can mash significantly faster and with a lot less accuracy in order to go even faster. This wasn't really used until
Same.
Tetraspit brought it to the table with his first gen world record.
It is the same in Monster Tale and New Game Plus for every other category as well.
So you will see it will look like Freaks is mashing way faster than he was before, and he is, because it is easier. Ideally, we want to heal to full health at some point before the Sands fight.
I'll do it at Judgment Hall.
Freaks is choosing to do it in a slower place.
This is faster for thingy, isn't it? This is faster for glitchless categories in general.
Left side, normally in glitched categories, you want to go to the right side of New Heart first because you get a skip known as Magalore and skip one of these encounters. However, if you are playing glitchless, it is faster to go to the left just due to the general spacing and the like distance you have to move. And it's mainly because of the chain. The chain is closer to the right, so it is faster to be on the right when entering this room to go down to basement. At the moment, it's basically not much happening. We are just mashing through all the text, and that's the only real major time save of New Home. New Home in Geno is quite a wash, very easy. It can sometimes tire out your arms a little bit, but other than that, really nothing to worry about.
Last
I
bit
also-
of just about every category in this game is kind of just like an auto-scroller, where there's not a ton of time to be saved, and if there is, it's in the seconds.
When you're on pace, this pretty much gives you all the time in the world to get nervous for Sands. Because as you will see, Freaks does not have any healing items. Top runners can consistently no-heal Sands. And some runners can no-hit Sands, however, for the speedrun, you don't really need to do that. You just need to reliably not heal, as healing is slower, because you need to take time to menu, and you're not advancing the fight at all.
If you are going to heal, you should heal in the middle point, because it's much faster. When Sands tries to give you a truce and tempts you in him. And honestly, I would love to see Freak spare him in this run.
Yeah, that should have been the incentive.
We have a,
Spare Sands.
Get dunked on.
we have a safety save here. Because, again, Sands is one of those points. There are no autosaves, so if you die to Sands and you do not save, you will end up miles back in the game. And now we have the Sands fight. Now, fun fact, because we are named Betis, we are actually going to lose time to Kara.
Yep.
because
Oh, yeah.
having a longer name loses frames. It is optimal to name yourself latter.
Freak should be able to do the entire fight with
No.
little to no trouble.
The reason we got the notebook here is because, as you can see, we are able to hit really, really quickly. Another thing worth mentioning is that, again, you have to match the text and everything. And technically, if you have a run that is close into Sans, it is far from over, because there is actually RNG time variance in the second phase. And it's not just a small amount, it is like potentially multiple seconds. However, if you factor in Sans's attack RNG, the odds of the perfect stuff starts to go into the trillions, and I believe even quadrillions for perfect RNG.
Yeah, it's, if I remember correctly, it's one of the only parts of Undertale that testers don't fully optimize just because it's that unlucky.
The luck required is just utterly absurd. And I believe there is technically also RNG with the ballet shoes, with how fast you can hit with certain attacks. Perfect RNG is 1 in undecillion. Is crazy.
I never even heard of that number.
Yeah, so it goes million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion, octillion, nonillion, decillion, and then undecillion. So, basically, it's not happening. In order to route that out, you would basically have to edit the game manually.
Yeah.
In order to make it realistically happen in, like, a task, for example.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually unsure, is it even technically possible within the vanilla game to get best RNG? I actually don't know. Because there might just not be enough stuff.
Geno passes lose hundreds of frames, multiple seconds? Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the thing is with Sans, is like Sans, I'd say as a boss fight, always remains to be a potential point of risk. Just because the fight inherently, if you're not on your game and you slip up just a few times, can actually screw you over.
It's not an easy fight even with this much practice. It gets easier, but it's never easy.
And so
even
Sans is like the perfect kind of climax to a good run because you know that you do need to focus. It is not over. One thing you'll notice is with the attack where Sans slams you against the wall over and over again, you can just hold all of the arrow keys to make it free.
Is there a name for that? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Sans wall arrow key thing.
So the attacks are predictable. So what attack you get in what order is completely deterministic. There is no RNG in that. The RNG comes in mainly the flash attacks, where the screen kind of goes black, flashes back in, and Sans throws random attacks at you. Some of those are just faster than others, and not by a tiny amount either. Some of them end really quickly. Some of them take a while.
Yeah, you can see the difference between some of these. It's not small.
We're coming up on Sans' special attack. As you can see, Freaks is barely clinging to life here, really fighting his way through this attack. Here's Sans gonna throw everything he has at us, and...
Held the wrong key.
Oh my god.
So what Freaks tried to do there, basically, if you buffer a jump, you can actually go through some of the bones. Freaks just didn't jump though, and didn't recognize that he didn't jump, so he just went face first into those bones.
I think I'm gonna die.
This is, however, the last attack for Sans.
And there we go. Freaks has no healed Sans. From here, it is entirely smooth sailings. We just need to base... There is one small detail left. You want to make sure there is an invisible barrier on the left once this section of the attack is over. You want to make sure you do not trigger it, because it actually slows you down I can't remember exactly why. I think it's to do with Sans' like cycle going to sleep. If you interact with the wall prematurely at all, even before Sans is like falling asleep, his like cycle of falling asleep doesn't quite. Basically, you lose a like cycle.
Well, I
Because
didn't know
of
that.
how
Actually.
Sans falls asleep. Yeah. So you don't, even whilst he's not falling asleep, you don't want to interact with the left wall because it does lose you time once he starts falling asleep. Once you get to this point in the fight, you can breathe and kind of see what your pace will be. And
Unless
This
you
is-
run into Sans and wake him up while he's sleeping, which I've done before.
I once didn't bop cat poggers in early burnt pan Geno because I accidentally woke Sans up and instead got a high 102 instead of a mid 102.
Yeah, I did the same on one of my old GLP.
So here, this text is unskippable. You advance the text manually, but you have to wait till the text fully plays out. It's pretty much a theme with the rest of the text in the run. There's one more set of skippable text left, and then it's kind of just, we're just kind of roaming from there. So here, you'll see Sam start to fall asleep. He'll actually skip a phase. You'll see his eyes will like go straight to being like quite shut. And we're gonna wait until Sans is catching some Z's, and then we're gonna mess him up.
I guess you could say.
We're gonna get him out of our
right.
way. There was actually a scrapped cutscene for if you reach Sans too fast,
Oh
where
my
he
God.
would eat ice cream and say, "You're not in a rush, are you?"
Dude, the
I
tailboards
think
would
it was
like.
a minute.
Dude, the tailboards would actually look like SMB1.
Well, it would just have to be, you'd have to go fast enough that you beat the pace lock. So here it's actually faster when you're going down to not be against the left wall. It saves you 5 frames. Because of the, I believe it's to do with the shaking of the box means that you cannot interact with the fight as soon.
Isn't it like 5 frames though?
Yeah, 5 frames.
Alright.
But it's one
Some
of
of
those
the-
things where it's a tiny time save, but it takes 0 extra effort.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of those things in Geno that we've seen a few times, where it's tiny time saves, but they really don't cost anything to do.
Yeah.
So you might as well just add them.
The time saves in this game range from multiple minutes to a single frame.
No exaggeration.
No, Sans. No.
And Sans
He's gone.
is finally dead.
No.
Poro's sad.
Toriel's
Right,
dead.
this is a one. This is looking like it's going to be around a, like, I want to say like a, like high 108. off the top of my head.
Jesus.
Well, for
We are-
dropping the ballet shoes and just pure mate activities, it's not that bad.
All things considered, not too bad.
You know what? I did think it was gonna be like a high 110x.
Jeez, dude.
You know, so okay, so I think this is gonna just barely be a really low 109. It's a high 108 to 109 OX.
We're gonna lose the 108 because I named myself Beppis.
So now, fun fact: this will save all of your wrists so much pain. Flowey's text is completely auto-scrolling until the last text box. You can literally take your hands off the keyboard, and it just scrolls anyway.
Why can't Kara's be like this?
But then how would you get the console?
Dude, no one cares about Kara Consob.
I do. I care about Kara Komslo.
Hi, Flowey. Jerome.
Now we will just deal with Kara. Kara is going to yap for like a minute and a half, much to every single speedrunner's dismay, because as we all know, speedrunners hate story.
That's Beppis, not Kara.
And that is where we
Don't
lost
have-
time. We lose time to being called Beppis because of that. So we actually lose multiple frames due to the extra letters having to scroll. So
There's
due to
a,
the dono incentive, that probably cost us the 108. Yay!
And here we go again. Here we go again. More time loss. Are you ready? 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 It's coming up. It's coming up. I think.
What are you?
Does Coronet say
What are you-
Beppis again?
It's like 2 more.
Oh, whatever.
They go like, that was me, Beppis. Now. Yeah, here we go. Time lost in 3. No, never mind.
Yeah, you
God,
can tell
I hate-
Freaks hasn't run this
Here we go.
category
Here we go. Here we
much.
go. Here we go. 3, 2,
Every time
1,
it's after this
1.5,
It's
0.5.
It's now.
That's me. Yay!
Bro.
Can't believe you don't know this text by heart.
Dude, I'm not paying attention here. I'm like on my phone.
Bro.
So anyway, time ends as soon as we hit the erase button. Right here.
Or do not.
So,
You could press do not either.
Bang.
and that's time.
GG's.
GG's. That's a
Whoa,
109 OX.
That was the most cooked. That was
109.06.
Managed to show the
Wow.
full range of things going well, things going horribly, things going worse than horribly. Geno's very much a category that Geno's the perfect category for when you kind of want to. It's the perfect streaming category because there are moments where you need to kind of focus up, but for the most part, you are able to kind of chill out and kind of just let the game take you for a spin.
Yeah.
And
I
the
am-
game did indeed take him for a spin this time.
I am very happy with the 109. Like all things considered, like considering I dropped the ballet shoes and like as long as it's not a 110 at like 10, that's fine in my books.
This run would be tied for 144th.
Oh Jesus. Okay, that's bad.
Well,
yeah.
well done. 109.06 is the final time on my side.
Got
I
it.
don't know if you've timed it differently on your side, but
No, that's right.
Thank you for the run. We do actually have another Undertale run again that's taking place tomorrow. That's the Undertale True Pacifist Glitchless by Eden 8. There is also a poll for that particular run as well. All of the options actually have at least 5 characters in them, so we're probably going to see some time loss on those ones too. But hey, it's for charity.
Loses a lot more in that category, so yeah.
Yes, but the option that is currently winning is Wales with £20. Slebog is second place with £10. That's a nice fruity Welsh word, which I'm not going to explain what it means. Because you can Google it if you want to, but you probably
I
don't
won't.
want to.
I won't. I'm not going to do it.
You don't want to Google it, but in Welsh it's a very funny word, and that's why I put it in as an option. Anyway, yeah. So we do have the next run, which we're going to be going on to in just a moment as well, which is the What the Car Any Percent Race by Eau Claire de Lallen and Oni Link 8. We were going over to that momentarily. We will just need to do some sound checks and tech checks and all that lovely stuff that we have to do in the background. So put the intermission screen back on momentarily and we'll go and sort that out and then show you the race. But don't forget, of course, we are doing this as a charity event for Tip Top Productions. If you'd like to donate, type ! Donate in the chat if you're on Twitch. There's a link in the description on YouTube. Or if you haven't dismissed it, then there is also a pinned chat message on both Twitch and YouTube with the link to the donation page available on there. That will take you straight to the donation page, and on there you'll find some incentives and polls that you can donate to, including the very famous Super Metroid Save or Kill the Animals, which is the very last run of InstaTipTopathon 2026. So that one is going to be quite exciting. That poll is going to be staying there until the very end of the marathon, which is going to be interesting to see how much money that particularly raises. Our current running total is £68.90. Unfortunately, that does mean we won't get to see the very special £69 because the minimum donation is £3, and we're at £68. We'll never see £69. So shame on whoever did that one. Not really, because it was Kendroy with £20, and £20 is a good
Kendroy, how could you?
If you had donated 10 pence more, then you would have had the super special 69. Anyway, never mind.
You'll be receiving a strongly worded email.
Can you write that out?
I'm sure we can see some more 69s on the donation totals later on in the stream. If we can get to a triple-digit donation total before the end of the day today, though, then that would be absolutely incredible. We're not far off from it, actually. We're only about £32 away from it, from seeing
We got this.
£100. So if we can get to that 3-digit total before the end of the day, that would be fantastic. And there are incentives as well. There's a Lies of P, any percent glitchless, nameless puppet fight incentive, which currently has £35 put towards it. It needs £15 more to see that one. And there are also other incentives and polls as well you can donate to as well. It does not cost any extra to put your donation towards incentive or poll. And obviously, you can change the cause of someone's run, and the money goes to Tip Top Productions. The current total is £68.90. That is eventually the total we will be donating to Tip Top Productions as well. So, in that case, do either of you, so Freaks, Dirt D, FFMC, either of you want to say anything before we finish and go on to the next run?
I just want to say, I just want to, I do this at the end of every marathon. I just want to give shout outs. I just want to shout out, obviously the couch, FFMC, don't do, two of like my like best friends in this community. So and they've taught me a lot. So thank you to you two. I want to say thank you to my girlfriend. I think she's still sleeping. I don't know, but yeah, thank you to her too. And yeah, thank you to the marathon too. It's been great performing today.
I just want to shout out the wider Undertale speedrun community because just it's an awesome crew. I got the chance to meet a lot of them in person at GDQ. They're just an awesome lot. Everyone's very friendly and always willing to kind of help lift each other up and improve. So we may be competing with each other, but we're also competing as a unit equally as much as enemies.
I also want to shout out the UTSR community. It is the greatest place on the internet. I want to shout out my mates, which is our friend group. I had a chance to meet some of them at SGDQ 27 or 26 as well. If you have any interest in speedrunning Undertale at all, just join the community. It is seriously an incredibly positive place. I cannot stress enough how much I love the community.
Well, thank you very much. I think we had quite a lot of people from the Undertale speedrunning community in the chat, actually, which was quite nice. It's nice to see you all chatting along as well to the stream as well. Be sure, please stay around if you have time to do so. We have loads of other runs in the schedule. Exclamation mark schedule in the chat will actually bring that up. We do have an Undertale run again tomorrow as well, so please come back for that as well if you'd like to come and see that. Stick around for any of the other runs we've got during the day as well, even if it's not an Undertale run. We're a community here at InstaSpeedathon, and we like to see people chatting away, so please stick around. Keep those donations coming in. If there's anything during the intermission, then I'll read them out before the beginning of the next run. So keep those donations coming in. We are at a very, very good total so far, and it's absolutely incredible. It goes to a very good cause. Tip Top Productions put on such amazing shows, and if you want to catch some of their shows, then there are links in the Twitch panels. There are links on the YouTube description as well. They're doing quite a lot of different shows. I'll explain them later on in the intermission before we go on to the next run. But stick around, make yourselves a nice cup of tea whilst we get the next run set up, and we will see you all later on. But for the sake of freaks and commentators, I will hopefully see you all at the next event.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It was great.